doing, everyone? This is the Dakota Boys Talk Movies. We're just bringing out this little episode, little quickie here, to talk about some of the movies we're looking forward to in 2018. There is actually a good chunk of possibly decent movies coming out this year. 2017 ended up being a good year for movies. The summer box office it was a flop, but there were still a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
When you look at the year as a whole. And 2018 is shaping up to be the same way, to get us see how the movies do. But so we're just going to each just kind of give just a few movies we're looking forward to this year. It's not an exhaustive list. We don't want to be exhaustive.
Yeah, we don't have like 20 movies.
I do,
Oh.
but we're not going to do that. We're just going to stick to just like a handful here that we're looking most forward to. So, Dakota, what's one you're looking forward to?
All right, we're going to come right out of the gates.
Just boom! Here we go. Bam! Bam!
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2. I have to admit, I am more than excited for this to finally happen.
The first one was just pure gold.
I literally, from us recording right now, watched it last night, and it's still great.
It's one of the few movies that I saw, and then that same day, watched it again. It was...
I went to this in theaters to a late show by myself.
Really?
And didn't feel like a loser because the movie was so great.
Oh, man. I unfortunately missed it in theaters, and I saw it when it came out on DVD.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's just so great. We've all been waiting 14 years for this. And, those of us who, at least aren't little kids and saw it when it was new, I guess, or whatever. And there's so much they can do right that I hope they do it right. And it's supposed to take place like right after the first one, and so we're going to get to see the Underminer. So John Ratzenberger will be back as the Underminer, and so that'll be kind of fun to see what they do. But that's a good one, Dakota. That's a good start. I'm going to just stay in this vein of animated movies. One that I'm looking forward to is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. They've officially titled it Ralph Breaks the Internet. He's apparently going to somehow get himself into the internet world, which basically means the possibilities are endless on what they can do with him. The first one was just so wonderfully great. It shouldn't have been as great as it was, but John C. Reilly was so perfectly cast as Ralph. And being this character that is just like basically a sad sack who's trying to come to terms with the fact that he's a bad guy that doesn't want to be bad.
Yeah. Oh.
And then just the whole arc of him, like, he's really learning what Zangief told him in the beginning. You're a bad guy, but that doesn't mean you're a bad guy. I mean, how great is it they had Zangief say that?
Yeah.
I crush men's heads between my legs. Oh, man. But there's just so many great, like, little Easter egg moments in that first one and that hit the right little nostalgic things. But at the same time, just they gave it this whole, like, original world and storyline. And it was just so much fun to kind of be in that world, especially for those of us who were kind of retro gamers, and then just having Ralph experience a new game and just questioning if this is good for children. It was just so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to that second one, what they'll do with it.
Yeah, the first one was an instant classic. I mean,
as bad as that term is, it's true. It's true. It's true. All right. Well, Dakota, what's another one you're looking forward to this year?
All right. This one, I'm not sure if it's a sequel, a reboot, but it
sequel, pequel, frequel.
It might be both, honestly. I am referring to Predator.
Yeah, the best thing I can understand is it's a prequel sequel.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that makes sense, but it does. But
it's gonna star, or it was made by Shane Black. You may remember him from The New Guys, Iron Man 3, writer of Lethal Weapon.
He's in Predator?
Yes, he was in the original Predator. Allegedly, he did help doctor the script on Predator.
That's the rumor. Has he ever confirmed that?
Well, he seems to be the only proprietor of that rumor.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't think the director's ever come out and been like, "Yep, thank God he was there."
I don't think McTiernan cares about anything anymore. He's just he's just like, whatever. I made Die Hard and Predator.
Yeah, it kind of has. This movie has a weird cast of people.
Yeah,
and the synopsis I read is even crazier.
Yeah,
apparently these guys find out that in South America, these people, I'm assuming they're in the jungle, have caught a predator. Like, they don't refer to it as the predator, they say an alien. So they go down there to get it, and hijinks ensue. And next thing you know, people are being boned like a fish, and yeah, hijinks, I guess.
Predator hijinks. That little so-and-so. Yeah, who's in this movie? Like, I heard the kid from Room. Is it like Jacob Tremblay?
I think he is. I can't remember the guy from Key and Peele is in this. The
like
taller
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes.
Oh,
Key is
strange casting.
Key is in this, and then one of the villains from Logan. I remember his name, but it's escaping me right now. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for someone who's looking for you.
Oh, the robotic arm guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember his name, but okay, that guy's in it?
Yeah, I think he might be the main guy.
Oh, interesting.
Oddly enough, I was a little underwhelmed because when I found out Shane Black was doing it, I'm like, can't wait to see who he has lined up. I just figured, like, former wrestlers, like, just muscle on top of muscle, carrying, like, M60s with, like, 1,000 rounds of ammo on their back.
Giant muscles, and then Russell Crowe's with them.
Yeah, I don't know, like, they haven't released any.
Yeah, when does it come out, Dakota?
Oh,
Is
man.
it a later in the year one, or?
They're saying August.
Okay.
I've heard August, October.
So late summer to early fall, somewhere in there. Okay. That seems like a safe place to put it.
Yeah. It seems like August is like a good time to put movies like this.
Yeah, it kind of ends up working out the most for those movies just because they're not like the blockbuster, and so they're kind of like, okay, we're through the blockbusters, check this one out now, kind of thing, and so yeah, it does seem to work out the best for those. So okay, all right,
so
we'll see what happens there, huh?
Depending on your faith in Shane Black,
yeah, which he's as of late been a little hot and cold.
Yeah, I really did like the new guys. But Iron Man 3, I mean, there's still that.
Yeah, maybe he'll have Robert Downey Jr. show up. Maybe Robert Downey Jr. is the Predator. Like, it'll be a short Predator.
They could, because Fox now owned by Disney.
Hey.
You could have Robert Downey
Iron Man is Predator. No, yeah, oh my gosh.
Captain America shows. What are they? Nomad.
Oh, God.
Nomad shows up and takes him out.
Speaking of Captain America and Iron Man, that is my next anticipated movie. I just can't talk about anticipated movies this year without bringing up Avengers Infinity War is finally happening.
Yes, all the culmination.
This is
culmination of your hopes and dreams.
Everything has been building to this. That's really what's been going on. Is everything for the past 10 years has been building to more or less this moment. I mean, the reason the Avengers initiative even happened was because of this bigger threat Nick Fury was seeing that was leading to this Ultimate Man that everyone's been making fun of now from the last Infinity War preview for some reason. Thanos is that this big baddie was coming, and he's finally going to be here, and Marvel just slow burned it over these 10 years to build the team. And in February, in fact, we're getting Black Panther first, just to kind of illuminate us more on that character. But it's just like everyone you've ever known from the MCU is basically going to be in the Infinity War movie. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And then they just went ahead and showed it. I mean, you knew it was going to happen anyway, but having Thor just be like, who are you? And it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy standing there. And it's just like, they're all there. And so it'll be interesting just to see how this ends up being pulled off. I think it seems to be in good hands just from what we've seen from the Russos in the past. Winter Soldier, Civil War, they've proved themselves to be able to seem to handle not just the storylines, but juggling characters. So we'll see. we'll see how it turns out. I guess they got a good actor to be Thanos. Hopefully, they utilize Brolin correctly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I don't know if you've seen what he looks like now. He is insanely ripped.
Well, he got pretty ripped because he's going to be Cable this year, right? In Deadpool 2.
But he's taking it to like a whole other level, man. He's got a...
Yeah. Was he that bulked up, though, to do when they were doing the filming of this movie?
He had to have been.
Well, maybe.
Because that... I know they've been done with the Cable Deadpool 2. I don't know if they're calling it Deadpool/Cable.
Yeah, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, yeah. That's so. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll just be cool to see it all come together. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of that same excitement you had for the first Avengers. We're like, it's all happening now, and then we got to kind of let it all settle in to decide if it ended up working. So, Dakota, what's your next one?
All right, mine is actually pretty far away from where we are right now.
Like a Christmas movie?
I think it's November.
Okay.
And this one, oddly enough, seems to be flying under the radar right now. There'll probably be more build up later in the year, especially after Comic-Con. I'm talking about Aquaman.
Yeah, I think that is supposed to be November.
And this movie, let's be honest here, we kind of all thought we'd never see.
That's pretty true.
Especially since the idea of making an Aquaman movie was just lampooned to no end in Entourage.
Yeah, and then there was supposed to be like more Aquaman stuff in the Justice League movie. Like Willem Dafoe was supposed to show up.
Yeah.
And so now everybody's speculating if they're just going to copy those scenes out of the Justice League and put it into the Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, if they filmed all that, they might as well use it.
Yeah, it's they got a really solid cast to be in this movie too, and it just kind of blows your mind a little bit.
How do you like now after seeing Justice League? How do you feel about Momoa as Aquaman?
Well, I never doubted that he was going to do a good job.
See, I don't really like him. And honestly, my wife helped me because I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, I can't. And then finally, my wife just kind of said it after Justice League. She goes, I feel like they just knew that Aquaman's always been this sissy one, so like they took it too far the other way. Like, I'm gonna chug this bottle of whiskey and smash it on the counter, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's part of his character development, and I think that's what we missed in Justice League. Is like they were gonna build to how he's kind of an outcast.
Yeah,
there was a lot of things you just needed to assume with Justice League. They didn't, because they didn't build to anything. They just did it.
In the comics in the 90s, the Aquaman was kind of like how he is in there, where he wore like armor, he got rid of the traditional orange and green.
But I mean, not even just what he looked like. It was just like, I don't know. He was just always posing so much and trying to act tough. And I almost didn't even buy that he was that tough.
Oh, he is. I mean,
in the literal Justice League, Momoa, no matter how much he can walk around and have ripply arms, it was just like, it was just so much like, it just felt like he was it's just kind of showboaty. I don't know, just like whatever.
Yeah, they kind of made him seem like, I don't know, like the guy who, you know, in an old like 60s movie where they're like surfing. He was like the big guy on the beach who would like come and kick sand in your face and steal your girl.
If it weren't for Affleck just kind of standing there half the time staring, like wondering why he was even in that movie, Momoa would have been the weakest member of the Justice League. But Ben Affleck fits that more just because he just stares off so much. But so Momoa is just about the weakest Justice League member in my opinion, which brings down my expectation of Aquaman a little bit.
Man.
But I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad that people... Because who's directing that one? Is that the James Wan one?
Yeah, James Wan.
That helped me. Because it's like, he's an interesting director.
Yeah, especially after The Conjuring 2. He tried like a bunch of new stuff with The Conjuring 2. And it worked. And he seems...
He has a knack for directing.
He seems really excited. Like every time someone talks to him about Aquaman, he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what what I got in store. So it's like, hey,
I
maybe-
hope he gets to make the movie he wants to make.
let's hope he's not being Martin Campbell here.
yeah.
And yeah, let's just hope it's because I think the character he has what's the word I'm thinking here, Steven? He has an opportunity to kind of be more lighthearted, not like Ben Affleck's Batman or Henry Cavill's Superman, where they're more
Sure. Although the Justice League attempted to fix, now that Superman's alive again, he came back happy.
I guess maybe he went into the other side and met
He's like, oh, it is better with Lois. Maybe I should smile more.
met Christopher Reeve, and Christopher Reeve gave him a talking to.
All Christopher Reeve have to do is give his little turn and smirk that he always did in the Superman movies, and it's like, and Cavill's like, I get it. It was like a light bulb. Okay, yeah, the James Wan did kind of help me. I forgot about that, and I remember thinking like, well, that could be interesting as long as they don't overpower him like the comic book studios can do a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I thought it's odd. I don't know how true it is, but apparently, like not Frank Lynn, that'd be the guy's father. Justin Lin apparently was approached to direct this. And
wow, they really wanted to have an Asian guy do it.
I don't know what that means.
What's Jet Li up to? Does he direct?
Oh, what was the John Woo? John Woo would have done awesome.
Like, I wish Kurosawa weren't dead. Yeah, John Woo. I don't know. Can you do doves underwater?
Oh,
he could, instead of doves, he could have like manta rays flap away in slow mo.
Cuttlefish. Have some cuttlefish like
cuttlefish just like just had to swirl away from Aquaman in slow mo.
Aquaman's using dual wielding tridents to fight off the enemies. Yeah.
Oh gal. Oh man, John Woo. That would be interesting. Oh man.
All right, Steven. What else do you got for us?
All right. I think the other one I really want to bring up, and this is a movie that, again, is kind of under the radar, except for the nerdy people like me. And they've changed the date of it like a million times. I think now it's supposed to come out in April or March or something. It was originally supposed to be January, February, and then it was supposed to be like later in the year. And now I think it's back in like April or something. It's the movie God Particle. If you're not familiar with what this is the next Cloverfield movie. The Cloverfield. And it's about this kind of group of astronauts in space. It's going to kind of deal with kind of the outer space. Something in outer space having to do with this Cloverfield universe. They've made Cloververse, whatever they call it. And so I'm really interested. It has an interesting cast. I'm trying to remember who I saw was going to be in it. I know, like, what's her name? That she's going to be in, like, Wrinkle in Time this year. And I don't know. Her first name's Gugu.
What?
I don't know how to say it. Gugu Mbatha Raw or whatever.
Oh, okay.
She's a very pretty black woman.
Is that how you say it? Are you sure it's not Juju or something?
Maybe it's Juju. I don't know. Voodoo Mama Juju. Just get all Michael Scott with it.
Oh.
Anyway, she's in it. And yeah, I mean, there's people saying it's coming out in February. There's people saying it's coming out in April. It keeps changing.
That's crazy because
Daniel Bruhl's in it, Elizabeth Debicki, Chris O'Dowd, David Oyolo, the guy who played Martin Luther King.
Oh,
Oileo.
Olio.
I'm gonna stop saying names like a white person.
I can't remember his name either.
Anyway,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It has an interest. There's this Norwegian actor who I like from other things, Axel Hennie. He's going to be in it. I've seen a couple of the Norwegian movies he's made in World War II times or whatever. And so it just has this cast that's kind of interesting, which kind of helps. Just because these movies really do only. It seems like these Cloverfield. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane only worked because they had interesting actors play interesting characters.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that when I see kind of these interesting cast people in this one, that could help a lot. The problem is it's always hard when you're the next one because 10 Cloverfield Lane could have been lightning in a bottle. and now it's not going to work quite as well. But I'm still interested to see what they do and how it could work.
Yeah. That's crazy. I had no idea that they were even done with the movie.
Yeah, well, apparently, but that's kind of what J.J. Abrams seems to be doing with these. He does everything under lock and key anyway. And these ones, he always tries to be like, "Whoop, here it is." Remember how 10 Cloverfield Lane didn't even have a trailer till about a month before it was going to come out?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He's crazy like that. So, anyway, those are kind of the handful we're looking forward to. Do you have any other ones you just want to throw out there to remind people are coming out this year?
Oh, man. Big one that we have right around the corner is going to be Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Me and Steven both fans of the book.
A little worried about how that one could turn out.
Yeah. The Spielberg was doing it, and we all got excited. And then we've seen some footage. Now we're like, oh, boy.
Maybe Spielberg shouldn't have done it. I don't know what to think. So
yeah, I kind of just throwing this out there. I think it's interesting. Some of the characters in that who were supposed to be uniquely American, he cast British actors.
Yeah.
Like they supposed to be like nerds from the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like these trained thespians from Great Britain, and it's like, okay, all right.
I'm guessing you're referring to who's playing the main guy who's set up the whole Easter egg. God, I can't even
Hadley?
Yeah, how Hadley's being played by the guy who played Abel in Strange,
Yeah, Mark Rylance.
Yeah, see how I am with names right now? Goo
I was doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, how he's like a thespian and he's playing and he's a thespian. Just say it like it's a dirty word or something. It is interesting though, because yeah, you're right. They're supposed to be like kind of these over the top nerds. But yeah, so we'll see how that turns out. Mission Impossible 6 comes out this year. It'll be interesting to see if Henry Cavill's mustache was worth it. We'll find out. Crimes of Grindelwald comes out this year. The next Fantastic Beast.
That one, I was excited for. Now I'm like a little worried.
Why is that? I'm just curious why.
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just curious why.
It was, from what I was told, it was supposed to be. It was essentially going to leave kind of behind what Fantastic Beasts did. And it was going to be mostly about the whole Grindelwald, kind of the allegory of the Wizarding War being similar to World War II, essentially.
Okay.
And then they brought back every single person from Fantastic Beasts.
I was kind of confused about that, too, because I was like, I thought this was going to be kind of another kind of story in that world, but here it's like they're all back.
Everyone's back.
Yeah, I was really, because I didn't think Josh Gad and that girl that
That wasn't Josh Gad.
Or not Josh Gad, the one that looks like him, Dan Fogel or whatever. I always mix him and Josh Gad up. They're both just like fat, goofy-faced guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. Black Panther. There's an animated Spider-Man movie coming out this Christmas where it basically is setting up a world where anybody can be Spider-Man, and it's going to involve Miles Morales. It's called Into the SpiderVerse.
Oh, isn't that a game?
It's going to be a movie.
Oh. Is it based off a game? I feel like
it could be. Lord and Miller are producing our movie.
So they couldn't make a live action Marvel movie, but they got to do the animated one.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Sony likes them, I guess, because they made the Jump Streets for Sony.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. Here's one that's really under the radar, always in America, is the guys who did Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep have another movie coming out this year called Early Man. So that could be interesting.
Huh.
Kind of looks kind of interesting and funny if you're into those guys' movies, Nick Park's movies. Stop motion again, of course, but it's going to be about Stone Age guys running into the Bronze Age and basically having to fight their way out of being slaves to the Bronze Age. But it's all done comically, where I think they're going to end up having to do a soccer match for freedom.
How British.
It's good. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, usually their movies are really British, but they're still usually really fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of interested to see how that works out. I think that even comes out early this year. There's a Hellboy movie coming out this year. They're rebooting Hellboy.
I'm quietly optimistic about that. I don't want to.
So far, I'm optimistic just because I like the actor they got to be Hellboy. I think if you're gonna have anyone replace Perlman, that guy could maybe do it. The guy, it's the David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Yeah, who got in crazy shape to play him.
Yeah.
It's like, what's with these older actors just like, I'm going to just get ripped and play this.
Well, he's playing Hellboy. Hellboy's kind of big.
Yeah, but J. Jonah Jameson to play, oh man, Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he's jacked. Barely in it, and he got jacked.
Guess he didn't want to look small standing next to Batfleck. Huh?
I think he's hoping he's going to have a bigger role in the Batman movies.
Yeah. Should we talk about the one we're all concerned about?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Solo is coming out this summer.
Like May.
And we haven't seen a trailer for it.
Barely seen a poster.
Haven't seen any, like, of the characters even in their costumes. Seen a lot of Photoshop jobs of, like, essentially putting the characters' heads on the old bodies of Harrison Ford and Billy D. Williams.
There's been, like, really bad photos from the set.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it seems like some people, as they're making these movies, they'll put out little, like, kind of stuff to tease us on social media stuff. But this movie, it's like a giant black hole. You go to work on it, and it's like silence. You're not allowed to speak about what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, these side stories. I mean, Rogue One, they didn't have any problems. I guess they recut it.
Yeah.
But these side stories, I guess, have just been struggling. Like the Boba Fett movie, I think, is like indefinitely sitting in limbo because of Josh Trank being fired from it.
Yeah, that was the one they were ready to go to.
It was like basically ready to go into it was like already into pre-production, and then it was like paused. And then I don't know, they brought up an Obi-Wan movie but haven't really said if it's going anywhere, just that they're doing it. So I don't know, because I don't know, because what's supposed to come out? 2019 will be episode 9, and then what are they saying is coming out in 2020? The Obi-Wan movie?
Yeah, and then I think
this one a year thing is going to end up biting them in the butt, and they're just going to have to stop at some point.
I think they're trying to get the Yoda movie out by 2021.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this movie, really depending on how it goes, could kind of just blow all their plans out of the water, I think.
I don't know.
Isn't it kind of crazy, though? I mean, Lord Miller got fired for doing this. And it's essentially what Taco... Wow, I just called him Taco. Taito Waititi.
It's essentially what Taco Bell did with
Thor
Ragnarok.
Oh, I can't believe I just butchered his name like that.
On a side note, we're being sponsored by Taco Bell now. No,
Live Mas.
We had to slip that in. So dong. Oh man, yeah. It kinda. Yeah, I don't know. Well, but that was the thing. Is like they got fired for being too funny, or something. It was too comedic or something. That was the rumor.
Apparently,
anyway.
They were just too laid back. They were letting actors just kind of like try to improvise.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Kathleen Kennedy with Lucasfilm is really into improvising.
And apparently, another thing they weren't doing is like, I find this funny because they directed the two Jump Street movies, but apparently like the action scenes, I guess they were like not setting them up the way they had wanted them to do it or something, and they looked terrible from what I've heard.
Oh, that's interesting, because even Lego Movie had good action scenes.
Yeah. And it's like, they just have like the worst cinematographer ever? Was he just like, hey, first day on the job, guys?
Yeah, maybe they were too laid back, or who knows. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. It's just weird that they decided to just move forward to the movie using someone different than one of the most iconic movie characters in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Which has kind of been the tentative why they've been so like standoffish about doing another Indiana Jones, because they've been so standoffish about recasting Indiana Jones. And if that's a good idea, but they're like, "Oh, Han Solo, just recast." It's like,
Yeah.
why are they so open to that? I don't know. Because then there's talk of doing like more with Luke Skywalker young and recasting that, and like I don't know.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, obviously they don't want Indiana Jones to become like James Bond, where like every few years they're like, all right, we'll just slot another actor in there,
yeah.
and he'll be like in the jungles of Vietnam during the war. It's like, it's like I think they kind of want to keep it as its own continuity. Maybe like reboot it, but it's his like great grandson.
Well, there's a lot of things you could do with something like that, or even just like a grandson. So anyway, those are just some movies we're looking forward to, and maybe a few were a little more walking on thin ice. We'll see what happens, but thanks for listening to this episode. Always grateful for that, and subscribe to us. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all those things, and we'll keep bringing you some more episodes in the future, some more reviews on some movies coming out. Like we said, 2018's looking to be a pretty decent movie year. But as always, time will tell. With that, this is Steven.
This is Dakota.
We'll catch you later.